Now, I don't do this often, but I think in this particular case, I'm going to make an exception. You see, Brie Larson needs your help. She's desperately concerned about the lack of diversity in Hollywood. In case you've forgotten, here's a refresher on Larson's views. The Hollywood Reporter describes Brie Larson as a fierce gender equality activist, which of course means that she's for equality of outcome wherever women are the minority in an occupational category. You see, Larson is one of those reductionist simpletons that thinks if an occupational category doesn't perfectly reflect the demographic makeup of the country, then it must be corrected. You see, like all feminists, Larson believes she knows better what people should do with their lives, and of course she's only concerned with occupations where women are underrepresented and the job isn't dangerous, dirty or undesirable. How do we know this? Well, in a recent interview with Marie Claire, Larson relayed her lived experience. About a year ago, I started paying attention to what my press days look like and the critics reviewing movies, and noticed it appeared to be overwhelmingly white male.
You're fucking a white male!
So I spoke to Dr. Stacey Smith at the USC Annenberg Inclusion Initiative, who put together a study to confirm that. Moving forward, I decided to make sure my press days were more inclusive. After speaking with you, the film critic Valerie Complex, and a few other women of colour, it sounded like across the board they weren't getting the same opportunities as others. When I talked to the facilities that weren't providing it, they all had different excuses. Oh, and by the way, the interviewer was disabled, black, and female, which she mentions at the top of the interview because apparently that's relevant for your audience to know when interviewing movie stars. Notice that no proof has been provided to substantiate the claim that women of colour are not getting the same opportunities. It's just asserted, and because we have to believe all women, it must be true. Now, you have to give it to Larson. She has superhuman powers of observation. It turns out, according to the aforementioned study, which looked at the race and gender of movie critics that reviewed the top 100 films of 2017, that 78% were male and 64% were white males.
You're a white man!
You know, I was in hospital last year and noticed that the nurses were overwhelmingly female. And guess what? They were. Where's my superhero film? Interestingly, Larson doesn't seem to be concerned about the lack of male makeup artists and costume designers, which you might think makes her a hypocrite.
No.
Yes, it does. Anyway, luckily some kind individuals have started a petition to help Larson in her quest to make the movie business more diverse and inclusive. Demand Captain Marvel is played by a woman of colour, not Brie Larson. We need Brie Larson to step down from her role to prove she's an ally of social justice and ensure a gay woman of colour plays the role. Let Monica, the original female and black Captain Marvel, instead of whitewashing characters for the benefit of the straight white men running Disney. So what do you think of that, Captain Social Justice?
Really sucks.
Well, that's not very inclusive. The authors of the petition go on to claim that Larson hasn't donated money to any charity other than the Motion Picture and Television Fund Foundation, and therefore it's time for her to show she's not all talk. By the way, the Motion Picture and Television Fund Foundation's mission is to protect and preserve the health and quality of life of those who devote so much of their lives to the industry. I guess all those downtrodden Hollywood types need protection. So clearly Larson is pulling out all the stops in the name of diversity with her charity work, so I think it's incumbent on all of us to help her bring home the diversity bacon by signing this petition. I'm sure Larson would appreciate it.
No.
As usual, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you next time.